And back to my good old self. It's good to be back.
시작할게요.
Now I have to do that every week.
You have to do that every week.
That's what
It's
they
good.
say.
Yeah.
I'll take it as a practice.
Means that do I have to see kind of the polite team?
I wasn't being polite, sir. I was
should
being
be late.
normal, you know?
Are you ready?
Civilized.
Ready?
Yeah, ready? Welcome back, and now it's time for our part two. We're discussing media trends. Every week we talk about a different media trend, and we have our live show with Talk and Talk. With me in the studio, we have Dennis and Tim. How are you guys doing?
Hi guys, thanks for having us. We survived in a new season. Let's congrats. Team.
Yeah, we're here.
And Tim got a new role, interpreter in section 2.
Yeah,
segment 2, right?
Yeah, we just heard. Yeah, we just heard Tim.
It was section 2?
That's section 2 of part 1.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
all right.
confusing.
He pretended he was not Tim, right? So much
It
polite.
wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah, it
there
was-
at all.
It was
But,
a
you know,
unique Tim.
yeah,
very
great
polite
work.
for him, very polite.
He
Very
understood
impressive.
and he remembered the long Korean sentence. I was so surprised. I'm very proud of you, team.
Then I actually summarized it a little bit because it was too long.
Yeah, I thought you did very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
Mhm.
No, you speak.
Impressed only now?
Yeah, before, yeah, it was, but yeah. just
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, you speak Korean very well.
I'm being sarcastic.
I was so surprised. Okay, very impressive with your Korean language.
Yeah, I've never seen him about the mass, so I didn't know if it was a foreigner or a Korean.
Oh,
But yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
You're right.
speaks Korean very well.
Right.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about contents for practical English education.
Good
Yay.
topic. Practical English.
So one firefighter got a call in his office and he had to speak in English, which is not his native language. So he was confused and panicked because he was not very good at speaking in English. So like this situation, what do you think of a rescuer request is a foreigner in an emergency dispatch? Law enforcers, like firefighters, may need to learn not academic English, but practical English.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Well, I think that society is really changing so fast to a kind of multilingual society, right? Like, for example, we have a multilingual family too. So I think the firefighters, fire station, and police station, and other governments, they don't look after this kind of so much fast changing society environment, right? That's kind of the first problem, right? And then, of course, I think that firefighter just wanted to speak in English, but the second reason is I think he passed the firefighters exam, right? It's really hard and very hard serious, right? But there is no English subject, right? That is the second reason. And third reason is kind of the middle school and high school education, academic English and practical English totally. So there is so much gap. I think that is the kind of the very high key. So yeah, that I have kind of three reasons. What I think about team.
I mean, yeah, academic English and English that people usually speak, especially by native standard, is quite different, you know. But I believe there's a lot of actually, study books and the guidebooks that are actually sold in bookstores that are focused on that, having a practical conversation.
You mean the for firefighters?
Well, they're not all designed for emergency situation, if that's what you're asking. But by practicing some of those expressions and some of those, how should I say, style of English that are actually spoken by natives rather than written in essays, I think it is more than enough for firefighters and law enforcement to actually learn basic English in case of emergency. I mean, the information that are required during the emergency cases are rather actually simple than people might think, the location, the people who are in danger, the condition of the danger might can be hard if the people who are speaking to firefighters or police officers are using very, how should I say, high quality vocabulary rather than the simple ones. But things can be always toned down by use of the technology, in my opinion.
But I think that sounds really strange because the firefighters, maybe most of firefighters they just graduated, completed kind of the academic courses, right? So on a view of kind of native speaker you, James, because maybe you were really wondering because wow, they completed a high education, right? But they cannot speak English at all, right? Something kind of nonsense. Even though you're students too, right?
Well,
Sometimes.
I think this is a problem for everybody. I don't think this is a problem for responders, first responders,
You're right.
firefighters, policemen, ambulance drivers, or anything like that. I think it's the whole population.
I'm with you there.
I don't see the reason why most people, 99% of people,
Korean
should bother
people.
learning academic English. They should be learning practical English.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So yes, of course, you go to university and your major is English.
Mhm.
Yes, you have to learn some academic English. That's part of it. You've got to learn it. But why the people who are just were a firefighter, why would they learn what the third conditional means? Who cares?
You're right.
Just learn the phrase.
Several words.
Learn the
just-
vocabulary, learn the phrase.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's just them. I think it's everybody.
Hmm.
Everybody in Korea. Because all the way through school, elementary school, middle school, high school, up until the Sunang,
Hmm.
they're all learning this grammar rules
You're right.
to pass the Sunang.
And
And that's it.
they're studying really hard in middle
Yes,
school and high
yes.
school, but their practical English is so poor.
Right.
That's kind of ironic situation.
Wait, so what I'm hearing from both of you is that you guys are saying we should just abolish the educational department of Korea?
No, we're not saying
Uh,
that. We're just saying that it should shift rather for, the high school students are learning these grammar rules because the grammar rules are a question on the Sunang.
It's
Uh-huh.
not
That's
a matter
why,
only.
right? They don't want to learn it.
Hmm.
They don't really care.
Hmm.
They're learning it so they can answer that question on the Sunang.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Yeah. At the beginning point, we just started with the firefighters case, but it's not the matter for problem for the firefighters as you mentioned, right? It's kind of the problem for all the most of Korean nations who really like to speak in English very well, right? Tim, you had studied in U.S., right?
Yes.
I studied till high school, the middle school and high school. I got a good score of English, but when I just have the first step in Australia or in overseas, wow, there was totally different words. Okay, I was so upset because I just looked after the teacher's guide, but I didn't speak in English at all. So I restarted learning by myself.
Mhm.
Oh,
You
so-
had to learn.
yeah,
what-
learn again.
Shall we call it real English? English that is
yeah.
actually used.
I spent over 6 years for English, including maybe more 6 years because including colleges area. But yeah, wow, it was really annoying.
Okay, but I don't think firefighters and police officers in this country can afford to go to the foreign country right now and spend few years to study real English there, right?
No, that's what we're saying. They can't. So instead of learning the academic English in school, they should be learning the practical English in school.
Yeah, a few phrase and just
No,
few
no one's
words,
expecting
yeah,
everybody
it's-
to be fluent
Mm,
in English, right?
Mm.
I don't expect to be able to walk into a police station
Mm.
here in Korea and get absolute perfect English at me. That's not
Yeah.
not the problem. But
You went through police station?
no, I haven't.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
No
I'm
fire
a good
station.
boy.
Oh.
I mean, I did.
Okay. How about your team?
Yes,
You went through police station US?
yes.
Oh, really?
Okay, there was a misunderstanding. Okay, there was a misunderstanding. You
We
guys have
didn't
to trust me.
misunderstand you.
Okay, here's the thing. It was during the Halloween. I was at Walmart and I was
Mm.
dressed as some kind of ghost, little costume. And for some reason, they thought I was a terrorist.
Really?
Yeah, and they just came out to me, these two officers
held
out
a
of
gun?
nowhere. No, I was just,
ghost
dressed up
with
in
a
a
gun.
long robe and, stupid mask. That was it.
Mhm.
But the misunderstanding, eventually solved and they let me go. It was no big deal.
You're arrested.
I had nothing on my background check, whatever. So yeah, I was innocent.
But it is a worry for me and other foreigners around. Like if there was some incident, even let's just say it's a car accident,
Oh, you're right.
and the police come,
Mm.
I can't explain my version of what happened.
You're right.
So the policeman is there, he's listening to the Korean driver's explanation,
Mhm.
and then mine. Which one is he going to believe?
And car insurance stuff too, right?
Yeah, and that as well. Yeah. So,
So
I mean, that is a problem.
that's why you have a dashboard camera.
I do.
Ah, very clever.
Black box is essential nowadays.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
But I think there's actually simple steps we can take. For example, if you go to the United States or any other, big Western countries, especially where they have like another population populating the city, they usually have those signs that are both translated in first English and then Spanish and then some other Asian languages or some of the other languages, you know? Maybe police station and firefighters, the law enforcement department can have the simple instruction and simple phrases they can use in the case of emergency, put on their office, so people can look at it and practice daily. Like that's like one of the steps they can take, and then encouraging other firefighters and other side of their employees to follow the same examples.
Yeah, good idea. So let's talk about some more ideas we can have after our song break. So we've got Dennis's song request, which is Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis.
You never went through the police station and fire station
in Korea?
Or car accident?
I did.
So in US,
not because of me in Korea.
In Korea.
It was because of my friends who couldn't speak Korean.
Got it.
I have had someone hit the back of my car, but it wasn't a problem when the insurance guy came. It was like straight up like, okay, it's our fault.
Because it hit the rear part, right?
There was no problem.
Hit the rear part, just 100, Okay. Yeah. Let's go. No?
You ready to start again?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep talking about today's topic. So we briefly talked about some ideas that maybe people could do, or police officers could do, and I guess other people could have the simple phrases on the wall that they can use. Can you think of any more ideas we could do to help multilingual people?
I think GFN can do.
GFN
can help.
Always.
Right? Okay.
I'm not sure.
What we were waiting for.
Like, wait. Like, do we have like information on statistics, like how many firefighters and law enforcement officers actually listening to our radio station? You see my point?
I got your point. Okay.
Like, how many firefighters and police officers do you think are actually, listening to our radio station?
Yeah, GFN has kind of government funded. The city has a power a little bit, right? So we have kind of make documentation. Okay, here's the GFN. You want to just learn the practical English? Okay, just tune in the GFN. Okay, that's the first solution.
I don't think so.
But I think that also extends to everybody, right? Like we said before, it is a problem for a lot of Koreans is not the academic side, but actually speaking in English is the problem. And that's where I think GFN could play a part, helping everybody.
And as to how is the answer we have to see.
That's the big question. How?
Well, I have a few suggestions.
Okay.
Since, actually forming an entire segment that are designed to teach law enforcement officers in particular the useful English phrases they can use in the emergency situation will be costly and maybe not really practical because, like I say, not many. For police officers and firefighters that are actually listening to our radio station, kudos to you. I'm just saying there might not be all of you or maybe 90% of you listening to the station. I'm just saying that chance is low, okay? No offense to the individuals who are actually listening, but some of my suggestion would be...
So maybe we should go into police cars and tune the radio to GFN.
Like a campaign?
And then super glue the changing knobs.
And then they're going to charge us for interfering with their duties.
Well, you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
You mean like mine?
Yeah.
But
more suspicious.
Officers are working in the stations. They're just sitting at their desktop computer or just workstation. I think really kind of very comfy kind of environment to tune your radio. So just make some campaign. I think with kind of the help assistant with kind of City Hall. I think it's not a big deal. But I think my new idea is kind of like that. Just make some interesting and exciting title, kind of first rescue practical English, kind of like that. We make a program and then we make Korean situation first. Like this as a kind of role play as a kind of firefighter. For example, Tim, you're a firefighter. I'm just calling, hey, like that. You make that kind of situation, and then we just put kind of English kind of phrase or just word, not the first sentence, because firefighters and police officers, it's really hard to understand and to remember the first sentence, right? Just a real kind of the practical English phrase or words.
Right. So there should be some segment where we pick some everyday, or not everyday, but real life situation.
Yeah.
Make a Korean
Korean version
about
first.
it,
yeah,
and then teach the English phrases, vocabulary that fit to that situation.
GFN has already it, right? Today's expression or just this morning Gwangju, maybe
yes, they do
have,
introduce,
right?
yeah,
but a little short, right? Just to make a kind of situation, kind of like one scene, just real practical scene, and then we put an English version and Korean version.
Right. So 1 week could be, you're in trouble and you need police help. The next week could be, going to the supermarket.
You're right.
Next week after that, there's a fire at my house.
You're right. You're right.
Like that kind of thing.
We're kind of just jump into kind of the station and the supermarket or the shopping mall or car accidents. There are a lot of scenes.
But that means the creation of a whole different team.
We can do.
I don't know. I was thinking about more like, how when you're in the military or in the law enforcement department, sometimes you have this day where they invite some of the professors or people who can actually give you a lecture and attend it in some kind of public areas. I know that a lot of enforcement jobs and places has that kind of schedules and that kind of practice. So what about we kind of invite them to such an event? Maybe once in a while, invite them to the gym we have beside our main hall, and invite the people from the law enforcement, not all at once, but from like once in a while, maybe this month from here, the other month from there, and invite them and educate them on the little practical English phrases they can use in emergency situations. I think that is a more practical way of approaching things.
Well,
that would be good. I think it has to be some kind of entertainment factor in there, right? Because it has to be good for the radio.
Yeah, you're right. We should have put entertainment.
Yeah,
that should be the first, not the education.
So how about you could have things like set it a bit like a quiz program.
Yeah, something like that.
So you
invite the different police departments, and they make a team in the department, and then there's some quiz.
More like providing them simulation.
Yes. So you give some situation like, what would you say in English to this? Like that. That's the kind of question.
So there's my idea.
That's
rather than creating a whole different team.
Tim is on fire today. Yeah, wow.
Am I? I'm always on fire. What are you guys talking about? I'm always passionate about everything.
So anyway, just making a small filming of the English and Korean version, or just invite the on-site worker, right? And then maybe after inviting, and we just have learning or educating some English expression phrase, and then they go back to work, right? And we suddenly call, hey, we make the real situation in English, like a test.
Oh wow! Okay.
Right.
Come on. And you make kind of shooting a little video, kind of a YTube or no tube, right? And then maybe they share because it's fun. Okay.
I mean, maybe we can provide them some nice examples for propaganda.
But actually, your idea of like calling up as a test, it reminded me actually something I meant to mention earlier. Was I think this something is kind of needed. This is a bit of, maybe it is an urban legend in the foreign community. So maybe this is not true, and I will say that first up. Maybe it is just one of those myths and legends. But there is always that story like the foreigner who was in trouble called 112.
Yeah, 112, right?
Yeah, to get the police.
Yeah.
But couldn't speak Korean, so the person on the other phone just hung up.
Oh, good.
Just like, I need help, I'm here. And like the person on the side couldn't understand the English, so they just hung up.
Was that the real?
Exactly, yeah. Is it really real?
Actually, I had some of my friends experiencing similar to that, but not to the extreme.
Even that rare situation when I hung up the phone, I think that could give a kind of a real lesson, right?
Yeah. So unfortunately, the version I've heard is that it wasn't really serious thing. It was a theft. So it wasn't like it was life or death.
Uh,
But still, that's pretty bad to, I don't understand you, so hang up the phone. It could have been, for all that person knows, it could have been, a murder, potential murder, right? So,
well, police officers are people too. Not trying to diminish you guys or anything, but sometimes the unfortunate thing does happen. And as I also had a lot of friends who are not really from Western countries, but also from Southeast Asian and African continent, they were usually more targeted with such behaviors. In my
yes, that's
opinion.
true.
Yeah, like my friend, he was actually calling police officer for the traffic ticket that he received unjustly and didn't go anywhere. That's why I had to intervene. But yeah, I think now that we are talking about it, maybe it's not really an urban legend, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Sad to say. But I think our ideas that we propose will be actually going to prevent such urban legend from becoming reality.
Yes, I mean that's all you can ask for, right? Nobody wants everybody. You must be fluent in English. That's not realistic at all, is it? But just to be able to help. Where are you?
You're right.
Okay,
Just simple.
And then they can say, something.
Address.
Most foreigners can give some information. Even if they, just like NC Wave.
Yeah,
at least that narrows it down a little bit, right?
Some I know, but some big police officers, some Korean people, they don't understand if there's a really native speaker pronunciation. NC Wave. They don't understand. NC Wave. Totally different pronunciation. So yeah, you should be educated in pronunciation first.
I don't know. Sometimes it is not thoroughly necessary. Like for example, I have a lot of friends who are really butchering Korean pronunciation, but they oftentimes have no problem with communicating taxi drivers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have big problems. My wife tells me.
Taxi driver had a really good sense of listening.
I don't know.
They know
most
the
of
way,
my friends, I know
because
them,
the purpose is just one, right? They want to find their destination.
I mean, yeah, yes, but still.
Okay, so unfortunately, we run out of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just hope to get one more chance to talk about it.
Well, next time.
I got it.
Okay, so that was all for our Talking Talk 7 with Tim and Dennis discussing media trends. Thanks for coming in, guys.
It was the first day of the new season. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And thanks for having us again.
We'll
Okay.
see you
Adios.
the same time.
Adios. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I forgot to mention not to get vaccine for flu.
수고하셨습니다.
You heard the news?
Yes.
Like what kind of people die? Oh jeez,
Oh,
it's still on.
Oh,
It is
my
still on.
gosh. Oh,
Why?
Face off day.
It was a moment.